Early 1980s, I started the Renaissance Festival and wanted to continue with my martial arts training. And I really liked the idea of learning and studying Tai Chi because it was a meditation that I could do with my eyes open and movement so that I could bring my meditation into every moment of the day. At least that was the idea. So I had already learned a few of the first steps anyway, but I had someone who said, "I'll teach you." And they said, "Here's the very first move, and I'll come back in a year and see how you're doing with it." Well, he didn't know me. He didn't know that I already had learned several more of the moves, and he didn't know that I would still be practicing that same move after 2 hours after he'd already left. Well, that first move actually is raising your arms from the position of down up to the center of the body and pretending that your hands are going across a shiny glass ball that is the size of your fists and that it's soapy water, so it slides across it and then back down into a lower position. While you're doing that, you're imagining that you're drawing up the energy from the earth and then pushing it back down into the earth. While doing that, I began to hear the spirit of the good, however you want to call it, the highest intelligence that's all the universe is. The voice which is never wrong. The impression was that you're not just made out of the earth, you're made out of the sky. So as you do this, breathe in and imagine that you are pulling in the light from the good all the way down through your body and to the bottom of your torso. And imagine that you're drawing from the center of the earth the power of the earth also, and bringing it up through your body and up to your neck. So your entire torso is filled with the power of the good, or the God, or however you want to describe it. Nonetheless, I started doing this exercise even when I wasn't moving my hands and arms. And I found that it became an extremely powerful exercise. So I began to practice this in my own time as a meditation, and I found that some interesting things began to happen, although I didn't necessarily put two and two together right away. I noticed that I had a great deal of peace. I noticed that the ability for healing became stronger. I'm a conduit for it. I don't claim it as my own ability, but the ability of the higher to move through me because I was making space for it. And my intention was to be an extension or an arm of the good as much as I could. I was able to focus and concentrate better. And something else interesting began to happen. And that was that as I was breathing in, I would get to a certain point from the top of my head and the bottom of my feet and coming in through the torso and then releasing from my will out the heart and out the hands. This was my intention, to be releasing my attachment or my will upon it. And the more that I would exercise this, because with an exercise like this, you have to practice one part, then another part, and then put them together. But what was happening is, as I was breathing in, it seemed that the power was going out my heart and hands. And as I was breathing out, it was drawing it in. And I got to a place where I was in a midpoint, sort of between wake and sleep, between worlds, however you want to call it. but I was no longer there, and the power was doing it for me. As I was drawing it in, it was being pushed out. As I was pushing out, it was being drawn in. I wasn't controlling it. It wasn't controlling me. It was like an engine that was working. Please subscribe. All you have to do is to make sure you're already signed into your email, and then push this button here, and you'll be notified when the next video comes out every time. Thank you.